Hello, hello, ladies. It's Wednesday, and I've got 3 Facebook Lives for you this week. Totally missed out last week because we were up spending time. It was supposed to be cooler up in the mountains, but it still got up to 90. For being pregnant and 90, it was still really, really hot. But I didn't realize how hot it was until I came back and we got home like around 3 in the afternoon, and it felt like I walked into the oven. So it ended up being cooler than planned, but it still felt hot either way. Okay, back to business. What is her name? I just lost it. Katrina asked a question, and her question was, I'm actually going to show it to you guys because they're super, super cute shoes that she has. Okay. Katrina says she is new to Pinterest and was wondering what the best way to set up boards to get the most interaction. She started designing shoes. So as of now, it looks like she is only selling from Instagram and Facebook. And I didn't quite get an answer whether she has her own website or not. But what I want to show you, Katrina, and you guys can get some ideas from this as well, is how to utilize Pinterest for selling like specifically a product. Ideally, for any of you guys that have followed me for any length of time, I totally recommend you to have your very own website to send people to. And on that website, your pin is going to lead people to your website to blog posts with value-packed content. Now, unless Katrina is teaching people how to custom design their shoes, then there's really no value post that she's going to add other than shoes. Ideally, she could do blog posts related to reviews, like I just made these design shoes, and if there's a little bit of a story behind the design type of thing, like maybe there's a little story behind the starfish or the beach shoes or that type of thing, she can do a blog post related to that. But I want to teach her and you guys how you can utilize Pinterest for that. So we're going to head on to Pinterest, and this is my personal profile that I never get on, but I do all my searches here so it doesn't screw up my other stuff. So the best thing to utilize boards, now all she is selling is shoes. So there's really nothing else to go from here other than shoes. And I'm not a shoe shopper unless it's running shoes. So depending on the type of shoes, Katrina, you are actually designing, and for who, it will vary your boards. But when I type in shoes, we'll just type in shoes. And when I type in shoes, it's going to say explore or shop. So we are going to explore. And you see all these pictures of beautiful shoes. Now I see some of these actually look custom. And then when I click shop, you are going to see shoes, and they actually all look the exact same shoes. I'm going to type in shoes for women and see if this is a keyword type of thing. So nothing is popping up with any tags or keywords about shoes. Now I'm going to go to trends.pinterest.com and type in shoes and see if there's anything there that shows shoes. Okay, so this actually seems to be a pretty popular one. So if you can see, shoes is a pretty popular key term. So you could just create a board with shoes. I'm adding a W in there for some reason. And when I type in shoes, it also pops up with sneakers, shoes, flats, shoes, sandals. So these are also popular keywords. So if you make shoes for men, you can do shoes men as a board title. If you make shoes that are sneakers, you can do shoes sneakers as a board title. Shoes flats, shoes sandals. All of those could be different board titles. And as you make shoes around those, you will add them there. Now, the trick is with being a specific product designer, Katrina, is you don't want to only pin your pins, or you're going to get marked as spam and you're going to get kicked off Pinterest, or Pinterest just won't show your pins to anybody. So the idea with creating boards is you want 5 to 10. 10 is the best number, and you want to create boards all related to what your product has. So if they're kids shoes, girls shoes, women's shoes, flat shoes, you want to create boards for each of those different shoes, okay? And then you want to be pinning other people's shoes pins as well as your shoe pins onto those boards, okay? So theoretically, it's 80-20. So if you pin 10 pins a day, 2 are your pins and 8 are other people's pins. Now, since you are strictly product selling, I need to give you 2 warnings. Well, 1 warning and 1 mistake that people make that I don't want you to make. Number one is it is really, really hard, even with the Shop tab, for somebody to click on and go buy something, especially if you're like custom or it's an Etsy shop or something else. If you are not a super, super popular brand like Skechers or Nike, it's really hard to get somebody to click on that pin and to directly buy from you. So just know that if your pins lead directly to buying for a shoe, it's going to be a lot slower in conversions than some other platforms, okay? It's possible, it's just slower, but you need to have your pins the right way. So if you look, all of these pins, most of them have no words on them at all. This has a word probably saying that, I guess it's saying the shoe is bendy with the video, but there's really no pins that tell you to buy stuff. So ideally, if you would want to create a pin, you would want to create a pin which is this perfect size. And let's say right here, you do this pretty image, except it would be the size of the Pinterest image. And you would do buy now custom beach girl shoes. And you can just do that. And you can create pins which lead to your shop with like 5 or 6 custom shoes and say, customize or birthday gifts for girls, custom girl shoes. And that could even be some boards. If you find your clients are usually girls, that moms like to customize shoes for their daughters, you can do a board like girl gifts 5 to 9 years old or girl gifts and post all of these custom girl shoes. But the biggest thing that marketers do is none of these pins tell you to buy anything, okay? Versus if you go to, let's see if there's any pins that are actually good. I'm not seeing any pins. Let's see if we can go home. So if you see right here, this is a picture and this is text. This says headaches, all-time natural remedies. This says Mother's Day gifts. This is what you need. You need pins that have words on them to tell people that they can click on this pin and buy this shoe or other shoes like this or design their own shoe. If you just have pins like this with just an image, you are not going to get any clicks, okay? You might get some saves because people like it and think it's cute, but they're not going to know you can click on it and buy it unless you tell them buy now, customize now, that type of thing, okay? Let me see if there's any questions on this in the group, and then I'm going to hop off, and there is another question that I am going to cover. Okay. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to hop off and then go answer Patty's question.